Today, we have a breaking news saying that there's a two-story building in the Lagos Island area of Lagos State, Nigeria has collapsed, and many are feared dead, with a lot of people who may be trapped inside the building. Now we have our correspondent, Akede, who is now in Lagos Island, bring us up to speed with the recent happenings. Thank you, Bernard, for standing by. Good evening.
All right, so the building you are seeing, or the rubble of the building you are seeing behind me, used to be number 15, Oba of Lagos, I believe I pronounced that right, in Lagos Island here. We got information that at about 11:07 this morning, I think, from what I got, that the building came down. It's a three-story building with a penthouse. Rescue work has started long before we came, and we hear that there have been certain people rescued from the building. But not to preempt any information, I'm here joined by engineer Olarinde Akinsanya, and he would explain exactly what has been happening here and give us further information concerning this collapse. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, could you please give us further information? What we have here is eyewitness account, but still the information we have is sketchy. We believe that you have better information and you will tell us what exactly happened and where we are now with this building collapse and with rescue work.
Well, thank you very much. At exactly 11:08 a.m. in this morning, we got a distress call about the four-story building that collapsed on Iga Idungaran, Lagos Island. Of course, it happens on the structure that is on number 15, Iga Idungaran Street. 11:05, the structure came down itself. And information we gathered was that the structure had been marked for removal before by the LASEMA agency. However, once we activated all the emergency response plan of the state, and we kickstart the search and rescue operations, because that is very key to building a collapse. However, during the operation, search and rescue operation, 8 victims were removed. 8 people were removed, were rescued. They were rescued alive. And of course, there were 2 other male adults that were trapped. This operation was handled and coordinated by the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Dr. Oluwafemi Damilola Okeosonitolu. He led the other stakeholders, and we carry out a search and rescue until all of the victims that were trapped in the rubbles were evacuated and rescued alive.
Okay. I would also like to ask, were there any casualties? So far I have asked, and I was told that rescue workers are yet to get any information about any missing person who was there, suggesting there may not be any casualties. Is there any different information from that?
Of course, you're talking about 4-story buildings, and it came down on itself and people were trapped. You should expect some level of injuries suffered by the victim that was rescued. In place here, a well-structured plan of the state government to administrate the relief effort, that is medical emergency for the victims. So most of the victims were treated here and by the LASEMA and Lagos State Emergency Management Ambulance Services, and they were further transported to the Primary Health Care Center, which is one of the government provisions for local communities. So they were transferred there for a secondary treatment. So of course, in total now, we have 8 before, and as the search and rescue operation prolonged further, we recover 10 adults. So they were treated at the primary health center for secondary. However, they were first stabilized here. Some of them were given oxygen to stabilize them, and that is the standard operation procedure. They were stabilized before they are transported for secondary treatment.
But so far there are no deaths?
There are no deaths so far.
Okay. And finally, before you go, sir, now we can see, like we've seen in several cases in Lagos Island, the buildings are very much clustered together, which makes it difficult for rescue operations to even take place in the first place. We see one bulldozer here has been trying to, to clear the rubble. What is going to happen to the other buildings beside this particular unfortunate building? Are they going to come down, or will they be able to clear the rubble without affecting these other buildings?
It is good at this junction to mention the fact that the state government have provisions for disaster mitigation plans. Each of those agencies actually have their roles and responsibility. I will tell you for free, the LAPCA, Lagos State Building Control, is an aspect that deal with mitigation plans. They've been able to identify structures that are vulnerable, and they have marked them so that they can be taken out. So, and of course, if the whole community will support this operation, I think we will have less concern for a building collapse. It won't degenerate to this level. However, LASEMA, together with all stakeholders, have since 11 a.m. been carrying out search and rescue operation. So far, so good. We have rounded up the search and rescue operation. Now we are doing an incident scene management. We want to evacuate the collapse, the debris, so that it comes to ground zero, where people will come here and will not see anything standing, so that they will not have a trauma effect on the impact of the community.
Thank you
so
very
that
much.
is what we are doing. We are progressing next level to, which is the ground zero operation, evacuation of all of these debris of this place.
All right, Bernard, if you can hear us, I think that we have good enough information from that.
Search and rescue.
All right, go ahead. I think you were about to conclude. Please go ahead.
Okay, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much. Search and rescue is over, like you've heard. Yes, I was saying search and rescue.
I did hear some noises while they were speaking.
But now it's time for the building, or the rubble of the building, to be cleared.
I heard some noises while they were speaking. Was anything going on there in the background?
Yes, apparently I'm not sure what was going on, but it seemed like there was some kind of, some kind of scuffle between certain persons who were here in the background. People who stay here, and somebody, apparently he's a journalist, as a matter of fact. I recognize him. He's a journalist with one of the print, he's a print journalist. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but it seems like there was some scuffle between him and some of the people who were here. I'm hoping that nobody got hurt. While we were conducting this interview, I could see from the corner of my eye that there was this misunderstanding. We do hope that everybody is okay. That's coming from what you just asked me. But besides that, we've been told now that there have been no deaths so far. About 8 to 10 people have been rescued from under the rubble and been taken to hospital for treatment. And now the bulldozer, the heavy equipment you're seeing behind me, is going to commence the proper clearing of the rubble of this building until they get to ground zero operation, as was mentioned eventually. But then again, we need to bring to the fore once again the conditions of certain buildings within this area. It's not the first, second, or third time that buildings are coming down in Lagos Island or either getting burnt. Shewa, you remember the one that came down while it was on fire behind you just a few months ago. And so these things will continue to be addressed by the Lagos State government. Some of the buildings have been marked for testing, first of all, while others are being marked for demolition. Those that are going to be tested, if they are found to not have been compromised, found to still be strong enough, they will be left standing. But if their strength is compromised, particularly the ones affected by this collapse, then most likely they would also come down.
All right, thank you so much, Bernard, and thanks to the officials who spoke with us. We're really hoping that we can get more information, and of course the buildings will be properly inspected. Thank you once again.